Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story is titled Me 20 Female with My Boyfriend 21 Male of 4.5 years. He's unwilling to say yes to the little things that make me happy. A double date with my friends, dinner with my family. Background: he and I have been together since junior year of high school. We lived together at his childhood home with his mother and siblings for the past 2 years. Overall, our relationship is pretty harmonious. When I talk to other people about RSOs, I'm usually thanking my lucky stars for the guy I've got because we are compatible in so many ways and rarely fight. We all contribute equally financially to the running of the house, and this includes my, obviously, deep involvement in his family dynamic. I'm ever willing to help around the house and contribute positively to the needs of everyone in the household, especially boyfriend. I'm a people pleaser in all dimensions of my life, including our relationship. Boyfriend is not. I often joke that he must have some form of oppositional defiant disorder. I'm aware this is not a joke for those with actual diagnoses. Please don't take offense, because it feels as though the majority of the non-essential requests I make of him receive no's in response. Basic things like, can I borrow your laptop or will you pick up X on your way home are not the issue. But when I ask about girly, for the lack of a better description, stuff like going on double dates with friends or seeing my family, he utterly shuts down with no explanation. I'm never even graced with detail like, I don't want to hang out with so-and-so because she annoys me, or your uncle's jokes aren't funny. He just straight up shuts down and says something along the lines of, nah, I'm all set, it's not going to happen, or flat out, no way. The most recent examples. My family threw a graduation party for myself, college, and my twin cousins, high school. Boyfriend also graduated from college this year. So my mum waited to take the opportunity to celebrate his achievement as well. She even painted his name on the beautiful congratulations banner alongside mine and my cousins, and he was included in the shower of cards and gifts coming from aunts and uncles. It goes without saying that my family has accepted him as one of us in the warmest way possible, and my mother lovingly refers to him as her son. This would be fantastic if my boyfriend had been willing to attend the party. I gave him several weeks' notice. Even a 3-day countdown if you will. Refused to attend, refused to justify or give any valid reasons why he didn't attend, other than the non-obligatory plans he made the same day for the sole purpose of avoiding the party. I was at a loss for how to deal with this besides attempts at verbal communication when I got home. Showed him the banner, gave him the cards, mentioned that my friends, a couple who will come into the story again soon, even brought his favorite beer to share because I'd mentioned it to them in conversation before. Said how much everyone missed him and how awkward it was for me to continually make up excuses for why I didn't come to a party thrown partially in his honor. In return, I got a half-assed apology and the subject was changed. I remained defeated because I didn't throw the pathetic crying fit that was brewing in my head, because those never get anyone anywhere. Fast forward to today. The same couple, I've hung out with them both, talk positively about this boyfriend of mine. They're dying to meet him and haven't yet. Same couple who brought boyfriend's favorite beer to the party he blew off. Suggested a double date for tomorrow night. I asked boyfriend. His answer was, I'm willing to go out with you, but I don't want to see anyone else. Mind you, he hasn't even met these people, and I've never even had the chance to tell him much about them. We see each other every single day, so it isn't like he misses me and we're lacking alone time. I tried several different angles to try and convince him that it could be fun. We've never been to the drive-in before. X cool movie is playing. It's only $6. We can smoke in the car. Jane and John Doe are such cool people. I think you'd get along great. Brick wall. I'm all set with that. Just stop. Stop. I'm not going, etc. No explanation or justification. No flexibility for different plans or a different night or any compromise whatsoever. Boyfriend is not, never has been, and never will be a whipped guy, and that is the last thing I'd want from a relationship. We lead independent, productive lives with separate jobs, friends, and school. This has worked for almost 5 years now. I rarely even ask for our friend groups to cross, only because I know that this is the result. I'll occasionally tag along on adventures with his buddies and ultimately see more of his friends at our house than my own group because he invites them over to work on cars, bikes, etc. in our garage and chill spot. And that's just groovy. I like his friends, they're my friends too. But if I try to reverse the situation and invite him out with my friends, co-ed situations, I'm not asking him to join us for mani-pedis at the mall. He refuses to participate. If I have my friends over, he busies himself with anything but what we're doing. The same applies to his family. If he's seeing relatives or having dinner with parents, I'm almost always involved and welcome there. If I'm doing the same with my family, it's like pulling teeth to get him to participate. How do I actively tell him he's been a complete dick without sounding like just another typical whiny girlfriend? I feel like the real red flag here isn't just a refusal to participate, it's the complete lack of any explanation or compromise. I mean, I would want to know what's the reason here. Because I'm all set with that isn't communication, it's just dismissing someone. And you say you're asking how to tell him he's being a dick without sounding whiny, but honestly, I feel like you've already tried the nice approach for years and it seems to be getting nowhere. Sometimes I think you've got to be direct, and that's simply it. It doesn't sound like he's very respectful of your feelings. I mean, you could have one clear conversation, just literally painting it out that I need you to participate in my life the way I participate in yours, and that's it. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. I mean, the response might be I'm all set with that, but at least you know where you stand. But the bird says, this sounds awful. I hate to be the person who jumps to break up, but he really doesn't seem like he's considerate of you or your feelings at all in terms of integrating himself into your life outside of his own. He knows these things are important to you and yet doesn't budge an inch. I think you need to have a serious convo about this. Does he have social anxiety, or is it just that he doesn't feel like going? Maybe you can get to the bottom of this and have a compromise, though it doesn't seem hopeful if you have to drag him tooth and nail to participate in these things. Perhaps though, he doesn't quite see the severity of the issue yet. Can you imagine a future with someone who won't ever integrate your lives fully? Opie says, on the grand scheme of our relationship, I don't think this is enough for me to break it off. At least not yet. There have been times where he's come along on these kind of outings, and he was fine after the initial teeth pulling to get him going. I don't think it is a social anxiety because I'm quite certain it's him saying to himself, I could sit through a movie with these people I don't know, or I could go do X fun thing with my buddies instead. I'm already fully aware that he's selfish in this way, and this is the most detrimental manifestation of his selfishness in our relationship. In many other arenas, he does put me first and considers my feelings, and this doesn't go unseen for me. I appreciate the shit of what he does right. Maybe that's why this sticks out as so god-awful and painful, because it really is my only consistent complaint. Regarding your last point, that really is the scary part. I don't think I can, and I know better than to demand change. Another user says to OP, he does not value your feelings as much as his feelings. My SO had pretty bad social anxiety, like diagnosed bad, and he sucks it up and does shit I want to do because he knows it's important to me. Yours is seriously being a jerk. Mine has a panic attack and is like, no, we can go, I just need to calm down. I know how much you're looking forward to this. Yours is like, fuck off lady, I want to hang out with my friends instead. Your family sucks, fuck their party. I'm not trying to brag here, I'm trying to illustrate a point. Someone who seriously loves you and wants to be in a partnership with you tries their very hardest to make you happy. He doesn't. Opie says, I appreciate your frank assessment of the whole thing, and my only dissent is that he does try in other ways. He shows his love in so many other places. I just don't know how to make it clear to him that this gap is a fucking important one that he needs to fix ASAP. When asked about the banner and told she is being submissive, Opie says, yeah, my mum hung it up for the whole party to see. I was tempted to take the section with his name down, but it was too late. I don't want this post to reflect too poorly on our relationship because I've mentioned in other comments we're not entirely broken. Past issues between us that I've addressed have been taken care of head on, and he does contribute positive effort to the relationship in other areas, just not this one as of late. If your assessment of my submissive role is correct, What's your advice for addressing it? I want to assert to you that I'm not a complete doormat with him. I damn near moved out and left him last summer because of a lack of action on a totally different issue. And when I realized I was serious, he made the changes that needed to be made, and we haven't really fought about much until this point. And when I say we haven't really fought, I mean we haven't fought because there wasn't anything to fight about. I wasn't just sweeping things under the rug for the sake of harmony. We've been having a very harmonious year since the last shake-up, but realistically, I can't just throw around ultimatums and pack my bags every 6 months when I don't get my way. So, how do I shake him back to reality without getting overly dramatic? And OP adds a little update and says, I just want to thank everyone who took the time to respond and offer their advice. After a long talk, the result was to break up because he doesn't feel the same way about me anymore. I'm heartbroken, but my brain understands and accepts his reasons. I don't feel like writing the entire saga out. I just want to offer an update and thank everybody who was kind enough to try and help. Someone quotes that and says, I'm sorry if I sprinkled doubt on you, but this was as much of a cop-out as his previous no explanations. He was never willing to go to these events with you, so it's not a result of change in how he felt about you. So either he never felt that way about you, or he was so loath to explore or explain his issue that he saw breaking up as an easier way out. Interesting. Consider the bullet dodged. Commenter quotes hopefully we'll still be friends, saying I don't understand. To him, you were nothing more than a walking, talking sex toy that paid half of the bills for a long time. He was with you until you started getting upset at his horrendous neglect. Then when you stopped being a prop, by talking about how he made you feel, he decided to finally tell you he'd lost interest in you. Your ex is a shithead. And I agree with this. Absolute bullet dodged in this situation. I mean, I don't think he was ever going to show interest in what you loved, spending time around family or anything like that. It was all about him. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now our next story comes from a throwaway account and says, I, 26 male, found her, 28 female, TikTok after we went on a date. This is honestly not something I expected to post about, but here's the thing. I've known this woman, 28 female, for a while since we're in the same friends groups. She's a nice person, attractive, and honestly, I've always enjoyed my talks with her. A few weeks ago, I, 26 male, asked her out on a date. I figured if she says no, it's fine, but she actually agreed. We went on a date this past Saturday, and honestly, I thought it was awesome. We went out to dinner, had drinks, spent the rest of the night talking, and we even took a walk on a walking bridge over the town's lake. It's not a big one. I dropped her off and was elated. I absolutely loved the night. However, that night when I was scrolling through TikTok on my bed, a post from her I didn't follow nor knew she had a TikTok appeared on my For You page. Essentially, she said in the post, getting ready for a date I don't really want to go to. That was like a bucket of ice water being thrown on my head. I was so freaking happy, and I just found out she didn't even want to go on a date with me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she has to want it, but please let me know if that's the case. We don't need to go out. We can forget I even asked her out. But doing this on the internet, it made me self-conscious. Not sure if that's the right word. Now, I'm unsure what to do. Should I tell her I saw this, or should I just forget about it? Honestly, it really hurt me, and I'm not sure I want to give this another try. I mean, she didn't want to go out with me in the first place, right? Top commenter says on this post, I'd comment on the post and ask if the date went well. Reply says this, just because she didn't want to go doesn't mean she didn't have a good time. I think all of us have been there, where we don't feel like socializing but it turns out okay or fun. Her not wanting to go may not be a judgment on the OP at all. Could simply be they weren't in the mood for a date, which might be actually a compliment to OP, that she was still willing to do it for OP anyhow. Manu says it's a low blow to post it on social media. People have feelings. She didn't give a shit about OP finding out, especially if they knew each other from a friend group. Good human beings don't proceed like that. Another comment says, I'd leave her be. If she asks why, then tell her you saw a video. Simple as that. Only Crank replies to that saying, I just wouldn't ask her for a second date and let it be. Don't give her fuel for a TikTok. Just tell her you don't think you're a good fit if she asks. Diarrhea Shitlord says, what a name. I feel like a child dating somebody who has their whole personal life on fucking TikTok. Of all apps. Too yuck. Oh my god, fight with a boyfriend. You'll never guess what he said. Another commenter says, the thing for me would be this. Who on earth would post that on TikTok? And why? The potential answers will tell you a lot. I would never want to be with someone that would find that an appropriate thing to post for so many reasons. My interest in such a person would disappear after seeing something like that, and I hope you have the wherewithal to feel similarly. This woman is not worth it, and at least you discovered that quickly. Distance yourself if you know what's good for you. No point in causing any drama over it, and honestly, that might be something she would enjoy. Old School says, as an introvert with some social anxiety, I don't think I've ever wanted to go on a first date. Even if I really liked the guy and wanted to go to the location, my mind would always convince me I was going to be unhappy. Luckily, most of my first dates had been fine or great, sprinkle in a few duds. As an older woman, I don't understand this need to post everything that goes on in your life or in your mind. Sometimes it's nice just to let passing thoughts pass. But I also understand younger people grow up immersed in social media and this is normal to them. This person has made it clear that she's going to post things publicly that you may think should be private. That alone may drive you to decline any future dates with her. And if so, just let her know that you saw her TikTok and aren't comfortable with your dates being the subject of her videos. Be forewarned, she may post about it. If you choose to see her again, I think it's worth having an honest conversation and set your boundary around what you aren't comfortable with her posting. Reasonable Cookie says, I think context matters a lot. Was she saying she didn't want to go out with you or just wasn't in the mood to go out? Is her content about social anxiety? I rarely want to actually do things while I'm getting ready. It's 100% anxiety, but that does not mean I don't want to spend time with the people I have plans with. Or she just really didn't want to go. I don't know her and didn't see the video. My only point is that phrase alone doesn't necessarily speak to her feelings about you. I think in a situation like that, I'd be like, you know what? Hey, I just saw your TikTok about not wanting to go on our date. What's up with that? Just be straight with me. Like, just be honest. You know, we're adults here. Let's just find out what's going on. Because I get what some of the comments are saying, and I get how OP would feel in this situation. Let's not worry about hurt feelings here, and let's just find out where we're going on this path, right? Rather than dealing with the what ifs. But OP comes in with what was titled their final update and says, hello everyone. Some people have reached out to me through comments or chat, asking for an update on the situation. Sadly, there isn't much to share at the moment, but I'll provide what I can. Please keep in mind that I won't be discussing this further, nor will I reply to comments. Thank you for your understanding. After last week's post, I read almost every comment, or at least most of them. I'm thankful for those who commented and shared a bit of their own personal story. Some people mention that anxiety is normal and feeling like not going out is definitely common, suggesting that I shouldn't look too much into it. While I agree with their perspective and see no fault in not feeling like going out, what bothered me the most is this situation was having to post a TikTok for a significant audition. I'm a private person by nature, and even my social media accounts like Instagram have only a single post. I don't really like to overtly share, nor do I want to be with someone who does. It's completely fine to share whatever you want, I just don't want to be a part of it. So I decided not to contact her. I chose to pretend I'd never seen the post and let things be. I understand a lot of people might think this isn't the best choice, but I feel like it's the best course for both of us. Last Thursday, a few friends who also happened to know her invited me for drinks. We went to a bar, and while we were eating and enjoying our drinks, a mutual friend asked me how my date went. As our circle was aware that we were going on a date, I didn't want to say much, I just replied, oh, it was good, but I don't think we clicked. This friend followed it by saying, we figured, which made me feel rather uneasy. When I asked what he was talking about, he hesitated but eventually said they had seen a TikTok post from her about not wanting to go out. At this point, I didn't really know what to say. This situation is just incredibly messy for me. but there's not much I can do about it. Still, I wasn't going to mention it, nor did I try to look up if there was any update on her part. In fact, I deleted TikTok after that incident. It just wasn't doing me any good. Nevertheless, this past Saturday, she sent me a text. She mentioned that she enjoyed our date and asked if I wanted to go out again. I understand that she clearly stated that she enjoyed our time together. However, I don't want to be with someone who exposes so much of their personal life. It's not something that would be good for me. So I decided to tell her the truth and sent a text explaining that while I absolutely enjoyed our date, her company, and I thought she was an amazing woman, her post from the night of our date came across my For You page on TikTok, and it made me feel really self-conscious. While I understand that she enjoyed the date, contrary to what she felt at the time of the post, I didn't feel comfortable going out with someone who had such a high level of exposure online. I wished her the best and expressed hope that she finds someone whose lifestyle aligns with hers. She's read the message and left me on read ever since. I don't think she will reply, and I don't think we have a lot of social interactions going forward. I'm sorry if this wasn't the update you guys were expecting, but yeah, sadly, that's what the situation became. Anyhow, wish everybody a good day. Commenter says, I was late to the party on the last post you made. I think what you did was right. You gave your explanation in a way that she couldn't really milk it for content. If she did use your response for content, she would have been shat on so hard and labeled a shitty person. Hopefully, this is a good lesson for her going forward. Marauder says, I guarantee you, she's still going to make another TikTok that will be rather unflattering for OP. Given what she did prior, she seems to be that type of person. Another commenter says, OP, contrary to what you may think, you got the message through to her loud and clear. I feel so sorry for people in the era of ever-present social media. It just ruins everything it touches. Tranquil says, this is the best outcome for you. You handled everything great. Good for you. Another commenter says, lol, she couldn't even respond to you. Sounds annoying as hell. Wouldn't surprise me if she only asked for a second date to fuel more TikTok content. Not saying you're not a catch OP, but this girl seems like the type to live for social media attention. Taylor says, dude, you just rejected her after she asked you on another date. Hilarious. She didn't even want to go in the first place. Hopefully she has learned a lesson and will grow from it. It's not nice to spread your life online. There are consequences. Keep the message of her asking you out. You might need it in your friend group. And the last commenter says, just me. Was the irony of the situation incredible? But now, I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being here. And hopefully, I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care and much love.